Food safety. What is food safety and why is it important? Well, food safety is very important because it teaches you how to properly prepare your food. Also, food safety's main goal is to stop cross contamination, which happens when uncooked food and cooked products are right next to each other, or also if you have vegetables next to raw meat, that also can cause cross contamination. Also, food that's also in the freezer that is uncooked can also cause contamination because food that is uncooked in the freezer can be sitting right next to uncooked pork chop, and that uncooked pork chop can cause the cooked pork chop to become cross contaminated because of the bacteria in the pork chop, and it can still transfer. Also, food safety is important because it stops the spread of disease and bacteria, and also foodborne illnesses. Um, also, it's also said that the coronavirus was also foodborne illnesses was the main spread of the coronavirus because of all the cross contamination that was in the China's streets of they just killed animals and like put all these different animals right next to each other, which caused cross contamination, and also was meant to say that the cross contamination played some part in the coronavirus. Food safety is important because it teaches you how to properly cook your food. This is some pictures of cross contamination, which you can see here is China's food market where they have all back up. You can see here is China's food market. You can see that all those pork chops are being cross contaminated because they're cooked they're all right next to each other, and there's cooked products right there which are being cross contaminated. Also, like foods and vegetables, raw meat can also be cross contaminated. All these different types of food that are right next to each other, that some are cooked and some are not even cooked yet. That causes cross contamination, causes foodborne illnesses. Also, this is cross contamination. If you don't wipe down your cutting board right away, you can cause cross contamination to all your other foods if you don't wipe down your cutting board every single time. Food safety background. How did food safety come into play? Well, food safety came into play because food is everywhere and we need food to survive, and we need to know a way to learn how to make this food and how to cook it. So food safety wasn't always the best because around the 18th century, food safety was very bad because nobody really knew how to properly prepare their food. They knew nothing about cross contamination and stuff like that. It wasn't until 1931 that the Foodborne and Drug Administration was actually made to finally tell people how to properly make their food and how to stop cross contamination, and taught them how to basically cook without them getting diseases and stuff like that, which helped out a lot. Also, yeah, that's all background. These are some posters that teaches you how to properly make your food and what not to do and what to do when you're cooking your foods. How is foodborne safety relationship to public health? Well, what is public health? Public health is the main goal to improve consumers' health and also consumers' lives and give them a better and safe environment. How does foodborne safety play into that? Well, foodborne safety teaches the consumer how to properly cook their food and how to properly prepare their food, and that comes into play with public health because it helps them not get sick, which helps them grow older without any problems of food, and which also protects the people because they're eating healthy, you're not getting cross-contaminated bacteria and getting foodborne illnesses like you would get if you didn't know how to properly prepare your food. But yeah, that's how it helps. Alright, food safety. Food safety today? Well, today, food safety has many advocacy groups. They have tons of advocacy groups that helps every day on to buying land for to grow crops, onto giving food to the people that don't really have that much food, or like giving better training to people that don't really know how to cook their food and stuff like that. if you close in, there is some advocacy groups that I've listed today, like the Food Safety, the Center of Food Safety, who is a non-profitable advocacy group, which they enforce. What they do is they buy land from like big companies that do like build parking lots and stuff like that, and build them and make they make them into like food, so they grow corn and stuff like that, and then which helps with food. Also, the Food and Water Watch is also an advocacy group that watches that a place must have clean air, must have food, clean food. Must have food, some type of food, and also water in a working space to actual work and stuff like that. Food safety has improved so much over the years, but yet we need to improve even more, because I feel like with the whole coronavirus now today, I feel like that could have been stopped with food safety. Like, we just need better regulations, I feel like, because that whole epidemic could have been stopped because of food safety today. The future of foodborne safety. All right. The future of foodborne safety has to enforce, like I said, has to enforce many of the rules. We have to make better rules now, because, like I said, I feel like the coronavirus could have been stopped because of the foodborne analysis. Also, introduce food regulations on what not to do, and what type of animals you can cook and what type of animals you can eat and stuff like that, because it's getting out of hand, I feel like. Also, the food safety testing market has said to grow up to $16 billion by 2020, because of how good food safety was. What is in the U.S. really. Food safety is pretty good in the U.S., but it can be a lot better. But like I said, we can improve a lot more. So the food emission only. So I would say that, yeah, we just need to get better food safety. And here are my citations.